What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Backliners podcast. Aggro and BaRRaCCuDDa bringing you a great show as per usual. Apologies for being 3 minutes late. That's on me. My dinner was
really not
done
anymore. It's really not.
No. I take full responsibility. My dinner did not get out of the oven in time, which was a frozen pizza, and I might just be eating it on the podcast because I don't know.
No one will judge you, bro.
I'm at the point in my life where you guys can watch me eat my pizza, and I'm not gonna be that. I'm not gonna feeling that bad about it. So,
what brand is it?
It is Red Baron. They are my favorite frozen pizza. I think they make the best frozen pizza by a pretty considerable margin.
That's a hot take, but I'll let you have that take.
Really?
I won't fight you on that.
No. Tell me your favorite.
Okay. Okay, Destiny. What's the name? Home Run Inn. I'm actually a big fan of Home Run Inn pizzas.
Home Run Inn pizzas. I don't think I've ever heard of those.
Yeah, they were BOGO at Publix one day, and I got one, and I was like, this is the best frozen pizza I've ever had. And I ate a lot of frozen pizzas. Wait.
What?
Hello?
Are you okay? What?
Dude, my music just stopped playing, like, all of a sudden I thought I DC'd.
You're listening to music pizzas while we're in the middle of the podcast?
I always have music on.
Really?
Yeah. Well, except for when I'm streaming.
What about during SPL?
Yeah, I have it like cranked to like. It's basically just white noise. It's not really music. It's just like it like entertains my ears when there's nothing going on.
And what about when you're in studio? Do they let you? Because Mifflin famously once got in trouble because he tried to install Spotify on a world's computer. Yeah, Mifflin is not smart. I don't know.
Why would you do that, bro?
And he still is like, why did I get in trouble for this? And I just can't help him at times. The thing with Mifflin, I had to explain this to Dave the other day. Mifflin will just say things, okay? He'll just say them. And if you engage with him at all on them, you've already lost. Like, it doesn't matter. What was he doing to Dave the other day? He gets Dave riled up so easily, man. He was tilting Dave so hard, and Dave was like Mifflin said something that made zero sense, like none.
Like about Smite or just like
no, just like about I don't know. He was something about he was gonna make some noise on cast. He was like, Dave, what would you do if I went like wow in the middle of you like doing play by play? And like Dave was like, don't do that. And Mifflin was like, whoa. He just like kept making the noise. And then he said something about Batman. It made no sense. Like literally zero sense. And Dave was like, I just want you to explain to me why that makes any sense. And I'm like, Dave, and Mifflin is just crying laughing at this point because he's already got him right where he wants him.
Yeah. He's already won.
He's already won.
It's like the arguing with an idiot thing. Like, you just don't do it because you always, like, bring yourself down to their level. And Mifflin's just constantly doing that.
That's what I've tried to explain to Dave, is that it's not that he's, like, but he's not, like, tilting me, or he's not, like, doing this or that. And I'm like, Dave, it's not about Mifflin's punches landing. It's about Mifflin getting the opportunity to punch. That's all that matters to him. And that's what we all need to learn. Sometimes,
any punch landed is good for Mifflin.
That's right. And even if they all miss, the fact that he got to throw more of them is all he cares about. At that time.
Maybe the 100 Mifflins would beat the gorilla.
Oh no, they wouldn't. It's a gorilla, bro.
Bro, if they're all punched.
Well, what did you think they'd be doing? They'd just be standing there? Was that the alternative?
Well, it's 100 people.
Just charging, already throwing punches. That is objectively worse, but would look very terrifying, I suppose.
That'd be terrifying.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Smite game, Battleground of the
Benevolence.
Gods. Yeah, Benevolence. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I want to get your thoughts on this. Okay, do you have a hot take?
Oh, I thought you were going to have a hot take.
Oh, no, I do not have a hot take.
You sounded like you were going to.
No, it's really good.
Okay.
It surprises me it took this long to get abused. Isn't it interesting that, like, a week ago, it was only being bought on supports, and, like, 1 or 2 people bought it in solo, and someone bought it in ADC once.
Yep.
And then the next week, 10 Benevolences.
Yep. It actually...
I don't think we've ever had that in the SPL before. In 8 years, I don't think something has gone from not being used to all 10 players in 1 week before. I don't think that's ever happened.
No, I don't think so either. Even like during like OP like Golden Bow, OP like Mark of the Vanguard, like you still couldn't do that on like all 10 people. Even like OP Guardian's Blessing, when we saw that being picked up a lot, wasn't all 10. And we didn't really realize how strong it was until, I mean, I can talk about it now since it's getting nerfed.
Sure.
And I feel like the meta's going to shift, so I'm pretty free-flowing. Like, we scrimmed Dragons this week, and I pressed tab, and I'm like, I'm 1k down. We've been farming the same stuff. We're tied in experience, and this guy's just 1k ahead of me. That's not very cool. I don't like that.
I don't like that.
So the next game, I started Benevolence. PCAT was still like starting like Bow 2 at the time, because he was doing Bow 2 into Benevolence, and then Vin was just abusing it this week. It is so OP in mid. I think it's by far the best in mid. Like, if you buy it and the other mid laner doesn't buy it, you literally just skyrocketed farm. It's actually so stupid.
Yep.
And then like it literally just like steamrolled down the hill of like one Benevolence in a game, or like one Benevolence outside supports.
Yep.
To 2, to 3, to 4, to 10. Like
it happened real quick.
Yeah, and it was like, well, if he builds it and I don't, I get 1k down. And if I win with Benevolence, I'm winning even harder. And if I lose, it's like kind of shaky, you know, because my fight's not great. Or like your fight's not great with Benevolence versus the other starters, but you can't lose everywhere. That's the thing. So if you come in with 10 Benevolences, it's kind of hard to shut all of them down if you do go the normal picks.
That is true. I do think, also people in chat, I think, misunderstanding my point. It's not that we haven't seen a game where 10 people all bought the same thing.
Yeah.
It's that something that was not added or changed, like buffed, in the week prior, goes from normal amount of play to all 10 people with no changes. I think that's what stands out to me the most about how crazy the whole thing is.
Yeah, it'd be like saying, no, that didn't happen because all 10 people have bought Beach before.
Well, yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
Bede's always there.
A little different.
So the changes, if you didn't see, Pon, friend of the podcast, Titan Pon, he tweeted out a twit longer with some proposed changes that will be being hotfixed on Tuesday, which is August 10th, 2 days from this recording, likely to have already happened by the time you're listening. Decreased the base gold per 5 from 3 to 1, and decreased the gold per 5 per level from 0.5 to 0.3. Does this do the thing? Does it prevent people from buying it?
Definitely a good step, a step in the right direction. I think it'll be enough to where you don't want to get it in other roles now, and it kind of just makes me laugh that literally every other role ruins support items.
Sure do.
Non-stop, except for Thebes. Thebes has somehow gone like unruined, even though the occasional solo winner buys it.
Yep.
It's lasted so long, and like I thought Solve was gonna get nerfed. Now that solo winners are picking up Solve a lot more often.
Yep.
Like support relics, support everything gets ruined by other roles so hard.
Big true.
And I think the only way they can do that, or keep support items being support items, is like lower the damage output, which I think is a bad change or bad like thing. I think it's just a bad game design. But I think that's the only way to stop non-support roles from abusing their things.
Hey, supports just keep getting the short end of the stick. Keep dying for me in team fights or else. And that's how it's got to be, you know?
You have to make enough room. You have to be tanky enough to, like, allow me to play the team fight. But then after that, you can just die. Like,
yeah, I don't care.
You've done your job.
Get your ult off, sunder that dude, and peel me, make them use their ult, and then die. Like, that's enough.
Be close enough to mid and duo to where if either one gets ganked, you're there to help us. But please do not share our farm.
Do not.
It is our farm.
That's correct.
Just
not
stay
yours.
in the jungle. Just Geb roll back and forth to each lane.
That's why Geb's got to be the best. That's why Geb's got to be the best.
I've been praising Geb I'm a Geb fan right now.
Well,
Geb OP.
I saw Awesome Jake lock in Geb, and I thought I was having a fever dream. I wasn't sure what the hell was going on. I was surprised by that, but I thought he played that game pretty well.
Yeah, he called a really aggressive play in lane because we got the art beads. I don't know what vote beads, but he was like, "Can we kill?" or like, "We can kill it," or something like that. And I did think it was actually going to work because I thought Neil was going to peel there, but I guess he just had root in his 2. But yeah, we're able to kill in a lane with Benevolence, which I don't know if you played ADC with Benevolence, but you auto attack for nothing. Yep. Like you should never actually die in a lane where there's 4 Benevolences, and somehow we got a kill, which is kind of insane.
Too easy for you guys. That's all there is to it. Well, I guess we aren't going to talk a whole lot about SPL this week. I did want to ask you one thing. Oh, in the last set of the day, and the last set of the week, but it wasn't just Stuart, but I noticed Stuart upgrading his Benevolence to Animosity. That has got to be bad, right?
Yeah, I hated when he did it because he only had 10% pin, and if you're going a full yellow damage build, and I think the Bellona had like over 300 prots just looking at her build, like she had to be insanely tanky. I feel like you get so much more value from Titans with yellow damage.
Yep.
And from Animosity. Like, I think you can get away with 20% pin with the yellow damage build. I think that's fine because you have so much power from Cal and etc.
Sure.
But if you have 10% with Animosity and the yellow damage, I feel like you do damage, but you're not like, oh my gosh, this ADC is shredding me. Like, I have to respect him. It's just like, it's like the Vulcan fake damage in a team fight, you know, where it doesn't actually kill you. You're just like, oh, I'm low. Like,
right.
Oh no, what happened?
Oh no!
I got shot by a turret a few times.
That was annoying, but I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, to better answer, I just think I don't like upgrading the Animosity or to it unless I need the extra like survivability. I think the health's really important, but I think like getting Xe, maybe getting Titans, maybe getting just another attack speed item is just better there. I didn't get to test it too much, but when I did go Animosity, it felt worse than the other times. But it was like 3 or 4 times that I was able to test it.
Agreed. Yeah, chat, Frederick III in chat brings up a good point. Scream has looked really good, I've thought.
Yeah.
He's looked aggressive, and like the team is listening to him. And look, you know, Scream's been in the league a long time. Everyone knows that Scream can be a bit difficult at times, but I think that maybe coming into a team like this and knowing that he has to come in a leadership role might force him to be mature in that spot. And there's no doubt in my mind Scream's the best North American jungler of all time, for my money, besides Sam, and who's kind of before Sam came onto the scene. That is, it was Scream, and I don't think people recognize that he is like. Scream's that good, man. He's really, really nuts. So I've got a ton of respect for him. I think that team has a chance to get a lot better with him there in the jungle.
I did not think he was going to look nearly as good as he does. I'm very pleasantly surprised with how much impact he's having in like on the map and as well as in team fights. I feel like they're not losing because of Scream, which in my eyes is really good for Scream. Like Scream knows he's popping off. He knows he's playing well. I think their team fights are by far their weakest point of the game. If they can just learn to team fight together,
they have struggled there.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to be like, oh, just team fight better. Like, just press your buttons better together. Like, come on.
Right.
I think in time they'll get better. But I think that just should be their main focus moving forward is how do we get these small leads, but then we can't really capitalize too much on them in actual team fights.
Right.
So I think that should just be their main focus. But Scream has just looked so good. Like when it was game 1 when it was Erlong, and he was in Pantom's jungle at 2 minutes, and they killed Tom for first blood.
So smart.
Yeah, I was like, no one does that in SPL.
Nope.
Like, no one's looking for a jungle 1-on-1, 1-on-2. I mean, there were Herc Erlong, so like their fight is insanely strong. But I thought they were gonna blow out that game. Like you literally invade 2-minute speed, you get the 2-minute blue as well, you clear out your whole jungle, and I was like, okay, they're just gonna like walk away with this game. And I think that
And then they didn't invade another blue the whole game.
Yeah, they like started invading reds, which I did not like at all. Like if
Right.
you're already winning a side, you just keep smorking it.
Right.
And you just keep pressuring it. And
Yep.
I think everyone knows to do that. I think they were just like, what all can we get away with? You know, like how far can we stretch our lead? And it was like the second or third red invade, Sot died, and then after the Sot death, their whole pressure game, their whole like invade strat just like it wasn't really like strat, but their pressure on the map just like dissipated.
Yeah, agreed. Think that both of those games very winnable. So, you know, young team, a lot of moving parts right now. I'm sure they'll improve. All right, let's talk new patch, because we got some new patch notes. New Hunter coming out.
Oh yeah, she's pretty fun.
Did you get a chance to play her on PTS?
I played 4 games. I went 4 different builds. Power Pin felt absolutely awful. Okay. Do not build that character Power Pin. Yep. Just because she has like a Scylla ult, do not do it. It will feel so bad. The bow build definitely felt the best. Probably just a meta thing. I tried a lot, and just bow build's the best. Threeing and ulting in team fights definitely feels really awkward for like timing it. It's kind of the same thing as Heim. Like once I get gone on, do I want to just 3 out of the fight, or do I want to keep fighting back?
Right.
And I think that's like a window that players will have to learn, like their strengths and weaknesses in team fights. And I did not know when to do that. Also, my ult felt super awkward using a team fight. Like unless there was a lot of setup where someone was like walking in a very obvious path, the ult feels very hard to use. Might be a good ult if they're diving your mage and you're able to free cast, but yeah. Yeah,
I think I only got to play test her like twice, I think. And she felt, first of all, I think she looks really good. I love the model. Yep. I love the art. I love the direction that they went with it. Can I just say, wanting like the only sea monster like sort of view for this character makes no sense. It makes no sense to me. Like no way that is a better direction than like matching it artistically with Scylla, which makes so much like logical sense to me.
Agreed.
Her auto attacks feel so fun. Like that auto chain feels really fun, really rewarding to hit, all that kind of stuff. I wanted to get your thoughts on the reduction. So the third auto deals less damage with item procs. It's reduced by 35%. So you're getting 65% damage with that triple hit. So overall, if you hit all 3, in the time the normal hunters would shoot 1 auto, you still get 190% or something. You know, like you still get a lot. 95%, 195%. Oh no, that's right. All 5 autos do. They all proc less, and it's not just the 3. It's all of them do 65%. Is that number? That's a very easily tweakable number. Do you like it where it's at the extra at 65% effectiveness? Do you think it should be more effective, less effective?
Honestly, I like it where it's at. It felt really bad in lane because I just felt like I wasn't doing damage with the 3 autos. Like it was like way harder to hit than a normal auto attack, and it also felt like really not good. But once I got to team fights, it felt really good. I felt like I was able to get my procs off, like literally my oboe just kept procking. I don't know number wise if that's good or bad. I'd have to play with a lot more to see if it was actually like OP or not, honestly. Also, ADC brain, so I'm really not good at balancing things.
Sure.
But it already felt strong, but not OP, I would say.
Were you maxing the 1 or the 2 in lane?
Maxing the 1. I think the 2 is too much of an awkward ability to use in lane. It just felt just awkward. Like I tried to start with it one game and I felt that was really bad. And I feel like the 1 is just so much easier to use. It's basically like an unmissable auto attack. And in the current meta with the Ichable meta, I feel like unmissable Ichable auto attacks kind of slap. So I feel like if I'm able to proc that more, it's really good. And a lot of times I feel like I'm not getting full value out of the 2, which might just me be me inexperienced with the character.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, off topic real quick. I tried when I went to power pin build, I was like, my 3 and 2 are gonna one-shot people, and I did 0 damage.
No, sir.
Like, I was
she has good scaling. She has good scaling.
I was throwing on people for like 65 plus crusher.
Baby.
Yeah, that's really not a big number, and the ult's so hard to hit. Like,
the ult is hard to hit. You'll get used to it though. It's Scylla ult, like, it has that same root on fire, and I think it just feels thematically different because instead of coming over the top, it comes straight out. But I believe the timing is pretty similar, if not exactly the same. So I think that people will get used to it eventually. I think I'm a little surprised that you max the 1 every game, because I feel like at a higher level, it's just going to get body blocked the vast majority of the time, because then it stops on God hit. Whereas the 2, you can hit a lot of the wave from not a super safe distance, but safe enough. And if they get hit by, it's kind of like Medusa 2 in the way that, like, if they walk into your wave clear, then your trade afterwards gets really good, especially because you get a 40% slow on that on the 2. So I think that might be the way. I think I did 1 game where I maxed the 1 game where I maxed the 2, and I think that the 2 felt a lot better to me to max, but maybe it's too risky to step up and use it.
Yeah, it felt weird to use in lane. Like, every time I was just charging it, I was like, what am I doing? Like,
you go. I love the animation. I think is really cool.
Yeah, I felt like, and then the audio effect is kind of loud too. So I feel like once they know you're charging, I feel like they can just like go on you, and your response is like kind of slow because you have to do the postcast animation, which is kind of long. But I actually never tried to max a 2 before, and also no one body blocked my 1. Which once the character gets into scrims and all that, I'll get to experience that and see what it feels like. But I feel like if they're just like freely body blocking my 1, then I kind of like that.
Sure.
I feel like it's just like a lot of free damage. I mean, it's like Olorun 1 in my opinion. Like, do supports block Olorun 1 literally like every wave? Not really.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna get poached pretty hard from it. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Everyone's gonna freak out about the 3, of course, because it's, you know, an untargetable immune to damage for 3 seconds. That's a long immunity. Have you felt in playing with or against it that's gonna be a very OP ability?
I think it's a very strong ability, but I think people are definitely overreacting to. I think it's like a decent escape.
Players overreacting?
Yeah, like if you're gonna overreact to that, you better overreact to like Thor ult, Apollo ult, Chernobog 3, Chernobog ult, Yorm ult. Like, they're all untargetable. Like,
yeah.
Apollo can fly for 20 seconds and be untargetable?
Well, that is OP. What do you mean?
That is OP, dude. Actually, you can only fly for like 5 seconds now because the mana change. Woohoo!
Oh, yeah. Like, everyone loved you circling around their backline for 25 seconds, waiting for them to use their jump. Everyone thought that was really awesome, and they were cool with that, for sure.
Yeah, I loved it. I don't know why we would change that.
Right.
It doesn't really make sense.
Right.
And I got beads and Aegis for free.
Yeah.
People were just scared.
Seems good to me. All right, and at risk of being criticized for my scale to put her on, where would you put, early impressions, of course, where would you put her on a tier list?
Like number-wise, like a 5 or 6.
Out of 10?
Yep.
That's lower than I thought you would put her. I mean... Go ahead.
I just compare her to, like, I think she's hard to kill in lane. She's probably one of the, like, harder characters to gank, because, I mean, it'd be like ganking a Scylla. Like, she just 3s and ults down the lane. But then after that, it's like, okay, then the character's, like, her 3 and ult are down. We can just do anything now, you know? I think she kind of loses hard to blink. Her 3 has a long wind-up animation, so it's not, like, the best escape. And also, a lot of times, you can just get hunted after you 3. So... I think she has places in team comps, and I think there are some times where she can shine, but I think if she gets dove, she dies pretty easily.
Do you think she's different in that way than any other hunter with, like, say, like, I don't know, Ho Yi probably isn't even the best example because he doesn't have CC immunity in the ult. Like, you know, someone like an On Her. Couldn't you say all those same things about On Her, but people think of him as fairly safe?
Well, I would say, though, like, On Her and Hu Yi at least can kill the other ADC in lane, where I feel like she can't.
Okay.
I feel it's kind of hard for her to, like, force fights. Like, the best boxing times I found was when I was able to auto attack like the melees and the ADC at the same time, kind of like a Rama Izanami trade. But I never actually laned against like a super aggressive hunter or someone who'd like punish me really hard for playing that way. But I do think her 1's very good for boxing. I think her 2 is kind of bad for boxing. It just feels like such a sluggish ability.
Yeah, it comes out slow in boxing scenarios for sure.
Yeah, I feel like if you get like jumped on by like a Hu Yi or like a Dan's rocket hits you and you don't get into your 3 or ult in time, you just kind of die.
Yeah. I was thinking her 2 reminds me of Danza 2, where it's like, it's really awkward to use in the middle of a boxing fight, but like, if you have like a ward on their purple and you like sit behind a rock, like if you get to full charge that as they come around the corner, because you can keep it charged. You can just sit there with it. If you hit them with like the 40% slow and the prot shred that it has, like you're gonna destroy them in that trade. But you have to open a trade with it, which isn't always super easy.
Or you can use it like potentially defensively if you're running and then just like flick it behind you.
Right.
And do that for peel, but yeah, I've tried using
this ability's gotta be good, man. It's gotta be. Its numbers are nuts.
Yeah, I mean the proc tread is definitely insane.
40% physical, 40% fizz prot reduction.
Yeah,
is that right? That can't be right.
You have to full charge it, and you have to have tied up.
Yeah, but you get it if you have max tied, which is very easy to maintain, by the way. If you have max tied, you get a 40% slow, 40% physical prot reduction, and it does 115% of your physical power.
It doesn't do much damage. It feels very bad.
It's 80 to 280 when it comes to base damage. So its base damage isn't super high, but that's a lot of scaling like come late game.
I think it's good in those situations where you're able to free cast and like get all your buttons off when you want to in a fight, but I think once you get pressured, it's a really hard button to use.
Yes, yeah, I can agree with that.
I think you're basically just 3ing out of the fight then ulting, which kind of just feels like when you do that, you're like, okay, I guess I was just way out of position, and I've had to burn like both my escapes, and now I can't come back into the fight for like 10 seconds, which just, I don't know. I think if she is going to shine a comp, it would be like a Protect the President comp with like a Khepri, etc., which are just like 2 really annoying gods to kill. I do think she is rather annoying to kill. But outside of that,
all right, we'll see. I'd give her a 7 right now, but I think she might be sneak OP. I've got a feeling that she's sneak OP. We'll see whenever she releases, and I'm curious as to what her numbers will be after release, because Hunter, she's a weird mix of like Hunter plus like Burst Mage capability with like a reset ult, and Burst Mages always have like very wonky release numbers. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, let's go over some patch notes. I actually haven't even read these, to be honest, because I've been very busy. So let's see what's in the patch, because I'm not even sure. This is interesting. Warflag, Sentinel's Gift, and Benevolence now only require 1250 gold to upgrade their starters. Still to be level 17, though, so a little bit cheaper for supports. Bracer of Radiance gets increased movement speed aura from 10% to 15% on the base variation, and that carries over to the buff, to the upgrade, of course, and increased power aura from 10% to 15%. Are you a Bracer of Radiance believer yet?
I was before, and I think it's pretty good now.
I think it's pretty good.
I feel like if you have a free sentry, no, I guess a free sentry, you gotta spend 500 gold or whatever to upgrade it, but I feel like if you have infinite sentries, that's gotta be good. And 15 power or 50% movement speed feels pretty good, but you have to, it's just something annoyingly extra to think about in the team fight of keeping your proc up.
Sure. Yeah, I think if this didn't count towards your ward count, it would be nuts.
Yep, agreed.
Okay. Sundering 100%. Spear. Increase cooldown from 110 to 125 on the base version, and that keeps on the upgrade, and decrease the damage amplification from 10% to 7% on the upgrade. Is this enough to take Sunder out of obvious best relic for supports?
Yep, in my opinion. I think now you start thinking about other things like sprint, maybe Shell comes back depending on how many auto attackers in a comp. I still think med is dog, but we've seen a few med pickups in the SPL,
yep,
so...
Genetics has been doing it.
And PBM, don't know if that was troll or not by either one of them.
Mike has never trolled once. I don't know about Genetics, but
true.
Mike's never trolled.
And then there's Horrific and Thorns and Blink and potentially Beads. So...
Yeah, Thorns is coming back. Scream bought it today. Solar Troll bought it today. I think we're seeing more of it overall. Are you scared when you see Thorns on the other side, or are you like, oh, they're trolling?
I'm always scared of Thorns.
Okay.
Always.
Fair enough.
Like, you're literally like a moth to the flame, especially if, like, this person, if they're, like, half HP and they get CC'd, and right before they get CC'd, they press Thorns, and you just keep hitting him, you're like, do I want to take this much damage? And right now, well, without the Benevolence build, you don't really have much lifesteal, and with the Benevolence build, most of the time you don't have lifesteal.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're going like a crit build. But I don't think the Aussie build's good there. I don't know. But anyways, most of the time your lifesteal is low, so you're not really loving hitting a Thorns character. And I do think Thorns is a bit underrated, and I think people kind of forgot about it for a while, and we've seen Neil and Nika abuse it the most.
Yep.
And now we're seeing, like you said, other frontliners bringing Thorns back. It's always been annoying. It will always be annoying.
Unlucky for
unless
you guys.
It's like dead. Yeah.
True. Charon's coin loses 10 power from 80 to 70. I don't know if I'm rushing Charon's anymore, but I'm still buying it on the majority of characters, I would say. Still, it's cheap. It gives me MP5. And Obsidian is more expensive and does not give me MP5. But has a good proc. Obsidian is underrated. I'll keep saying it. There are a lot of characters that, like, if you're playing Scylla, I don't want Charon's coin at all.
Yeah.
I want Obsidian. Like, if my job is to kill the tank, I want Obsidian Shard. But everyone is less.
Coin just feels so good for farming, right?
Yes. Yeah, because like it's cheap and it's MP5, and then once I get like even one proc, I'm like, I feel like I'm slightly faster, even if I'm probably not. But you know. Okay, Frostbound Hammer nerf, 50 health off.
Random?
Yeah, kind of random. The dev notes here say it's seen a strong amount of play at mid levels, which I would infer means they've gotten feedback from Olympians or have like item win rate stats that are telling them that Frostbound is overperforming. And it doesn't really affect high level because no one's building it anyways. So it's not. Except for Benji. And I think it's not that good the vast majority of the time. Jade Emperor's Crown. Increased physical power reduction from 20 to 25. Are you happy about this?
I love this item. I love this item. I just wish it stayed dead.
Give me your 3 favorite things about Jade Emperor's Crown.
Prots, health, and power reduction.
Great. Hide the Nemean Lion. Another one that you're going to like.
Oh, yeah.
Increase the physical prots by 5, 75 to 80. And decrease the protections needed per stack of the block from 120 to 100. And that is a revert. Now you don't have to worry about shell stacking block stacks, though, at the very least, right?
Yeah. I feel like if solators can find a build where they can go like 300 of each prot and just immune the 3 autos in the beginning, we're going to be very sad again. Like, very sad. Dude, if they go Nemean plus Thorns, oh.
I've sent you in a depression spiral already, huh?
And Jade, bro.
Surely they can't fit all of it, right?
Surely they can't. You know?
Surely they can.
There's no way.
Bulwark of Hope. This buff had everyone losing their minds.
Yeah, I don't understand.
You think it's not that big of a deal? Or
no,
you think it's nuts?
I think it's nuts.
All right, let's read it. Increase the magical protections from 60 to 80, and the shield provided will now be based on 15% of the holder's maximum health rather than 150 plus 10 per level. Here's what I'll say. I know Pon is like the math guy. He's really good at all the math stuff. And if I go in there and I'm like, yo, Pon, isn't this going to be nuts? He's going to like slam me with a fact bomb of like, well, you only need, they need to build this much health. So in like the average time to get that much health is like this point in the game. And even then it's only like a 50 health stronger shield. So it's really not that, it's just like a perception shift more than anything else. And I'll be like, oh, okay. I don't know. Because I'm not doing the math. That's the thing about me. You got to be knowing that.
I'm just looking at, it's less about the passive for me and more about the prot increase.
Yes.
I feel like that prot increase, 20 prots is a lot.
Yeah, 80 prots and a lot of health on this item sucks for me. But everyone keeps saying that mages are so broken and that supports
they are.
Suck, so I guess that's what needs to happen, but I'm not super convinced. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, good luck killing a tank if they go Thebes, Bulwark, and mid.
Yeah, they're going to build a lot of HP.
Under nerfed.
Yeah, but they're going to build a lot of HP, and I'm going to have, like... Okay, here's one thing I will say. I think a lot of these builds that mid laners are going, I haven't been playing as much Smite recently. I've been very busy. But I feel like they're lacking... They're not... I'm very surprised that they're not fitting a whole lot of pen. I've tried this Pythag start. I've said this since day one. Pythag sucks, bro. I hate that item. I hate building it. I feel like I'm doing no damage. Mm-hmm. And I don't care if my support is getting 30 power. I don't care. I don't care if my jungler is getting 30 power. I want it. Me want big number whenever I press ultimate. And Pythag doesn't let me do that.
Nope.
So I don't want to build it. And where'd all the flat pen go? Huh? Everyone's only building Divine? Magus and Deso are good, bro. Build them. Build them. That's all I got.
Where'd all the flat pen go?
Where did it all go? They're only building percent pen, man. It drives me crazy. Snoopy's
this is actually weird.
Snoopy's putting some nonsense in the chat saying Pythags is good, you moron. He's wrong.
Snoopy's right.
All right, fine.
I'm sorry. It's not at you. It's just like Pythags is statistically a cool item.
I don't want to build it ever. And you know what? If you're on my team, don't expect a Pythags because I'm not building it. Because if I do, I'm just going to be complaining the whole time. All right, Soda Fall. A lot of buffs for this. Increased health from 150 to 200. 10 of each prot, 30 to 40 for both. An increased passive buff from 2% to 3% per stack. You scared of Soda Fall yet?
I keep forgetting that item exists.
Me too. Yep. Eventually, here's what's going to happen with Soda Fall.
It's going to keep getting buffed.
It's going to keep getting buffed, and it's going to be the most broken item of the game. We're going to be like, how did they get to this point?
Why weren't people building it before now?
Exactly. And you know what? The design team will be right, and that's how it's going to have to be. Because of things like Blackthorn Hammer, where that's happened in the past. Not currently broken, but is getting buffed. 35 to 40 power and 350 to 400 health. This item's pretty good. I feel like that's like a pretty deep. It's just like a good stat stick. 400 health, 40 power.
Yeah, I honestly can't tell if it's OP or not. I feel like if I saw a soloner buying that, I would be like, okay, I can literally destroy them.
It's just kind of like I feel like it's just Gaia if I don't care about not getting knocked up, or like I have some built-in sustain. Like, isn't this straight up better Gaia for Guan Yu? Yeah. Or like I just want the mana sustain.
But I think like the Guan build is just like 2 set in stone.
Yeah,
to,
true.
Vary from, in my opinion.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Maybe if they nerf like Genji's MP5, you need an MP5 item, but yeah.
Staff of Mirrodin, passive proc goes up from 4 seconds to 6 seconds. Everyone was freaking out about this item, probably for good reason at PTS, but I still have not built it since the change, so I couldn't tell you how good it feels.
I think it's only good on like Chonga.
Chonga, puke. Dominance, increased basic attack and penetration bonus from 10% to 15%. Finally buildable.
If it helped yellow damage, yes. It does not help yellow damage, so no. unless crit builds come back and you need a pin option and you're not going to go more crit, it would be weird to go dominance over another crit item, in my opinion, in that slot of like the build path right now. Like, you're not going to replace Deathbringer with dominance. I don't think you would replace a third crit item with dominance. I think it's just a weird spot. Like, it needs to feel like you want to buy it over Xe, and I don't know if it's at that spot.
Okay, fair enough. I feel like you could probably go, like, if no one's building lifesteal outside of Cowl anyways, once Benevolence gets nerfed, couldn't you go, like, Cowl, Dominance, like, Rage, Wind Demon, Deathbringer, something else?
Cowl, Dominance, Rage, Wind Demon, Deathbringer?
Yeah.
I mean, those are items you could purchase.
Right, but they would work, right? Like,
I feel like you don't have any attack speed.
Yeah, you get some from Cowl, you get some from Wind Demon, you could get an attack speed item, like, somewhere. You could sprinkle one in there.
I don't know if Dominance has enough power on it to substitute as your, like, main power item.
Okay. Alright, fair enough.
I mean, maybe just go Ichval or Aussie in that build somewhere.
Yeah, you could go Ichval, Dominance.
I feel like that build would be very annoying to kill if they had an Aussie on top of that with that much crit.
Yeah. But you'd have to choose between, like, your starter and your third crit item, basically. Like, you would have to skip Rage, go Wind Demon, Deathbringer, and just hope you're lucky.
I think so.
Just be lucky, your forehead. Vamp Shroud. Vamp Shroud. Decrease magical power from 30 to 25. I think this does bring it back to... I really like this nerf because I think that I still want Vamp Shroud on certain gods. I still want Vamp Shroud against certain gods, like on the other team. If I'm going to get dove by multiple physicals, I'm probably buying Vamp Shroud. But it might not be every game I'm automatically buying Vamp Shroud. No. Maybe. I haven't... I'll have to do some testing. That's with a Conduit Gem buff going from 25 to 30 power as well. So maybe Conduit Gem comes back. Sands of Time still pretty good.
Yeah, I just feel like you have more options now instead of Vamp Shroud / Benevolence.
Yep, agreed. Sam for Soccer's in the chat saying, thoughts on me as a mid laner. Thoughts on Sam as a mid laner, BaRRa?
Very good. Very, very, very good. I'm surprised you haven't role swapped yet.
Here's the thing about Sam and mid.
Oh.
His god pool is limitless. I don't think there's a single mage he can't play. And you can't say that about every other mid laner, you know? If you need a Giannis, Sam's on it. If you need a Scylla, it's game over. If Scylla's in the meta, like, Sam's just the best mid laner in the league immediately. His Cuckoo Khan, nasty. He's got it all.
Hades?
Oh, you know he's got a Hades. That's the thing about him. You gotta know that he's got a Hades.
Everyone knows.
You gotta know.
Zeus?
Well, no one should be playing Zeus, but if someone's got to do it, it should probably be Sam.
Sam 4.
Soccer 2. Mannequin Scepter. Go ahead. Okay. Mannequin Scepter gets some changes, yada yada. Bumba's Dagger gets a small buff for clear speed. Bumba's Hammer gets a revert on 10% to 20% for cooldown reduction. Bumba's Spear gets some big changes. No longer gives you health. Now provides 10% penetration. Gives you 70 physical power, 105 magical power, and increase the buff duration on it from 10 seconds to 30 seconds. Junglers have been complaining that their upgrades all suck. Do you think that Bumba's Hammer and Bumba's Spear are competitive now?
I think it depends on clear speed and how much you can get away with it in the jungle. And if you can compete with a high pressure jungle, then it'll be good. And if you can't, it'll be bad.
Well said.
Thank you.
Protector of the jungle gets a small buff. Some reverts, actually. Passive power increase from 12% to 15%. That's a revert, but the protections remain at 12. Revert on physical power from 55 to 65. Magical power 80 to 100. Seer of the Jungle. Now, this item's OP. Increased physical power from 60 to 70. Magical power 90 to 105. passive duration of 15 to 20
why
seconds.
105?
I don't know. More than, because I guess a 10 magical power buff is not, like, that's just buffing it more for physicals than magicals. So you want, like, they wanted it to be a little bit higher, but I don't know. Increase the passive duration from 15 seconds to 20 seconds. This item has got to be good. For, like, fire giant fights, like, getting free D-wards for 20 seconds every time you go. Now there's an extra little harpy right there. Mm-hmm. You just go clear it, you wipe their whole vision. As long as you can walk there.
It sounds OP.
Right? Isn't it OP?
That's what I'm saying. It's gotta be OP.
Okay. Fair enough, man.
Well, I'm agreeing with you.
All right.
I'm not sarcastically agreeing either. I'm actually agreeing.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough.
I just have no other points, and it's probably OP.
Great. Gilded Arrow, decreased cost from 700 to 650. Increased basic attack power from 15 to 20. Is this buyable now?
We'll see. I still think Cal has way too many numbers on it, but we will see.
All right. All right. Let's skip. There's some support stuff, and as we covered, no one cares about them.
We really don't care about sports.
Gods.
Just keep buying Thebes.
Let's go to the Gods tab, and let's start off with Steven Zappis, because Steven Zappis is qualified now as a god because he achieved pubic glory last week.
Oh.
By ordering from Manscaped. You guys thought you could get away without a Manscaped ad? Are you freaking kidding me?
That was so good.
Is this your first time here, chat? That you didn't think I was going to Manscaped ad on top of your head at some point in the middle of this? Give me a break. Attention listeners, all across the galaxy, all the way from Australia to Houston. Do we have a pube problem? If so, our friends at Manscaped have cleared you for takeoff with their 4th generation and brand new Lawnmower 4.0. Kick your pubes to the next planet with the Performance Package 4.0, also good enough for Steven Zappis, the 2-time. The orbits in your pants will feel like you're in zero gravity when you use the best tools for the job from the leaders in male grooming. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get your rocket ready for takeoff by going to manscaped.com/back for 20% off and free shipping. Make sure you're heading over to manscaped.com/back. That's 20% off plus free shipping for a clean trinity and beyond. Your space balls will thank you. Barry, you got better that time. You didn't laugh through the whole thing, and you're only marginally red.
I was expecting a little bit. I was ready. You got me at the beginning, and then I slowly was able to regain my composure.
And that's because there is not a pube problem in the
no.
In this. Okay, just making sure that we're
there is none.
And that's because. And why do you not have a pube problem?
Because of Manscaped.
And the Lawnmower 4.0 in particular.
And the Lawnmower 4.0 in particular, as I do say myself.
Okay, as Barra says himself. And Barra, where can
only my thought?
Right, only your thought. And Barra, where can the good folks support the show by getting 20% off and free shipping?
By going to manscaped.com/back.
That's right, manscaped.com/back. Huge thanks to Manscaped, of course, for supporting the show. Again, if you want to support the show, this is the best way to do it. Head on over manscaped.com/back. Okay, Tiamat.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Decrease the magical power scaling on Consume, that's her grounded one, from 60% to 50%, and the scaling on her grounded 2, Outburst, from 50% to 40%.
Big nerfs.
Pretty big nerfs, 20% across 2 abilities, enough to not make her one of the best mages?
Well, we'll see. I feel like it's just the warrior thing of just having that many buttons that you can press is good. Yep. It's like Arthur and Cuckoo. You can keep hitting those buttons, nerfing them.
Yep.
But they still exist.
They're still buttons.
I still have 3 to 4 more buttons than you do.
Yep.
We'll see.
We'll see. Raijin, getting a Raiju nerf, decreased bounce tick damage, was 50 at max rank, down to 42. This is a partial revert. It was somewhere in the high 30s, I think, before at max rank. Got buffed up to 50. Raijin immediately became played all the time alongside other buffs. Down to 42. I think this is a fairly substantial nerf, but I don't know, man. Think about Raijin. I was talking about it on cast today. Think about Raijin. There's no point where you're like, damn, I wish I wasn't Raijin right now. Like, there's no point where Raijin sucks. He's good early. Yeah. He's good mid. He's good late. A lot of other mages are bad at least one of those things.
BaRRaCCuDDa was ulting and literally just ulting down the fight.
Yep.
And then I look over at Zap's health, 200.
Yep. Slamming.
Like, if you ult down a corridor, or if, like, you're in the ADC and you just turn, like, this way, like, and the ult's coming from this way, good podcast material, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You just get slammed, and you're like, oh, 400, oh, crap, okay, nice. I guess that's it for me.
Love to see it. Jormungandr, some buffs, basic attack damage, damage on the tick of his 1, and the 2 power scaling gets 5%, but that can stack up to 3 times. So it can be up to 15% for consuming Bellow. Any thoughts on Yorm's viability moving forward?
I'll bro. I'll get back to you.
All right, fair enough. Here's where... Okay, this is one of the most frustrating things. Bologna. These things... Okay, so having been a part of the dev team during the offseason, that kind of stuff, the way that the planning cycle has to work is that this Bologna buff got locked in 2 weeks ago. No one's playing her. Everyone's going, buff Bologna, she sucks. Buff Bologna, she sucks. Lock in the buff. All of a sudden, she gets played all the time in the SPL this week. She got picked like 5 times this week in SPL.
Yep.
And looked good. And now, she's getting buffs. She's getting increased scaling from her on her 1, 40 to 50%, and decrease the cooldown 15 to 14 seconds, and decrease the cooldown on Scourge. She lost 2 seconds across flat. It was 20 to 16. Now it's 18 to 14.
Oh, yeah. Why is that a 20-second cooldown?
Well, it's not anymore. That's the thing. But she's good enough to see play with it being a 20-second cooldown for some reason.
I saw that in patch notes, and I was like, bruh, I didn't know those types of cooldowns still existed. Like, 20 seconds is forever.
Yeah. Chat saying they don't think that Bologna didn't look good. I know she didn't win a lot, but I thought she was having a lot of impact in fights. Like, I think she was doing a lot, but maybe you're right. She didn't win a lot, so that's fair.
I mean, chat's always right, so.
I actually think the opposite.
Oh.
I actually think the opposite, but
really?
Okay. Yeah, here's the thing about chat.
Okay.
It's not worth it the vast majority of the time to just be like reading what they say. And I'm not talking about our Manscaped viewers, our Prediction Esports Twitch chat viewers. They're the best of the best. You know, they're cut from a different cloth. Especially because a lot of them are going to manscaped.com and using code BACK for 20% off and free shipping. Those in particular we really like. But like Smite game chat. I haven't read, I'm going to be real with you. Many years ago, we were given a mandate that we should sit and chat and like interact with people.
No.
I like didn't. I don't think I've opened and looked at Twitch chat in it's season 8. I'll bet you I haven't looked at Twitch chat except when I had to stream on the Smite game channel. Like, I'll bet you I've looked at chat single digit times since season 4.
I don't blame you.
It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it.
They're leaking out, by the way.
What do you mean?
Smite game viewers were leaking out in other streams.
How so?
Just the brain cell diff is showing up across the board in random streams, and I'm like, you can tell immediately when someone is like a mainly Smite game viewer.
Oh yeah.
And just the way, the way they are.
The way they are. They're special.
Exactly. Very special.
Truly special.
Truly, we love all of them, but stop typing in my chat.
Yeah, seriously. Amaterasu. We should probably rapid fire these. This episode's already, it's already 9 o'clock. Attack speed per level and decreased cooldown on her charge. Good enough?
OP.
Great. Scotty. This is the one that everyone was waiting for. You think she's actually going to be OP?
No.
Oh.
I don't think so.
Oh, thank God. I was worried there for a second.
I don't think the buff actually does enough.
It's just early game called to your basic attack damage. It scales to the same point. And 2 seconds off of permafrost, or 3.
That's a pretty big buff to permafrost, but I don't think it will ever really save you in a team fight. I think you're still dead in the situations you're dead in, And yeah, still alive in the situations you're alive in.
Thoth buff, which always scares me because I really don't like playing against this character. But I really like this buff. Glyph of Pain, that's his 3. Increased base bonus basic attack power from 10 to 30 to 20 to 40. So now, whenever you're at a fire giant and you throw up your wall, all of your homies who are shooting through it do more damage. I think that's cool utility that I'm down for him to be good at. Don't let his one do more damage to you, though.
No. That dude, if Thoth gets ahead, he literally half HPs you at like level 9.
Here's the thing about how a lot of casual players' frustrations with Thoth are wrong, and I don't value them. That's not true.
Really just not trying to like take a dump on the fans this episode, but here's where you're wrong.
But here's where you're wrong. It's none of you should be upset by getting one shot by Thoth ult. It barely happens, and if it does, it's like 6 items and he has a 3k pot and you got slammed. You know, Raj King of the slammed you. That's how it goes. It's really that when the Thoth 1 is hitting you too hard, that's where the frustration should be. You know? Who cares if Thoth ult does a lot of damage? It's the 1. That's the problem.
Agreed.
Baba gets to walk through minions while in her ultimate now. That feels really good for her. Susano getting a buff. Base damage on the 2, 80 to 180 to 90 to 210. So 30 damage. That's a pretty significant buff. In Jetstream, base damage 20 to 60 to 25 to 65 per tick. I don't know how many times it ticks. I want to say it's 4 times. So that's 20 base damage on Jetstream. I'm a big Susano fan. I love Susano.
I'm a Susano hater.
I love Susano. He's one of my favorite characters in the game. So I'm in.
If he's meta, I literally feel like I die to him every single fight.
That's like,
right. He's so hard to get away from. I mean, it looks cool, but it feels like really unplayable sometimes.
Yep. He's a character with a lot of mobility and CC, and those are hard to play against for sure.
Yep.
Artio, decreased cooldown on her 1, both forms, of course, 12 to 10 seconds, and increased her charge speed on heavy charge from 75% to 100% increased movement speed. So now she doubles her movement speed when using heavy charge. I think Artio is going to be nuts.
Yeah. I think we'll see. I mean, on paper, that buff looks pretty insane.
Yep.
But Artio is still Artio, you know, 0 CC immunity. Sometimes you just get CC'd and die.
Yep.
And yeah, I think if you can like run the pressure comps with Artio, she'll be good. Or if she can like somehow be like really annoying in solo, she'll be good.
Yeah, I was gonna say solo lane Artio, like give me a Vamp Shroud and give me a Breastplate Rush.
Yep.
And I'm vibing. Like and then she's gonna come out of the solo lane the same level as you, and you're gonna be like, I don't like this anymore.
Yep. I think
she's good.
I think she's still one of the worst late game characters, but I think you just got to get a lot of use out of her early and mid game, and if you don't, you lose.
Sure. Kuzenbo, Nene Kappa, increased base damage on the throw from 70 to 210 to 80 to 240. You know what this is telling me, BaRRa? Jungle Bow is back on the menu. Because that's where you get some bounce value out of this buff.
Okay.
It's only 30 damage at max rank if you only hit it once. But if you hit it 3 times, that's 90 base damage.
And then what?
And then I cleared.
Oh, and then what do you do?
And then hey! And people, you know? Right after that.
All right, I'm sold. All right, Kuzenbo Jungle.
All right, Kuzenbo.
Very good.
Kuzenbo Jungle. That's how it's got to be.
Very OP.
Naja. Decreased cooldown on the 2 from 18 to 14 to 14 seconds at all ranks. We're just lucky that Sinos and Cherio are not in the league anymore. You know?
Yeah, I was gonna ask them how influential it actually is.
Probably feels good, but
yeah, it might just be like quality of life thing.
Yeah, probably just quality of life. We'll see how much it actually affects Naja. And that's the patch. There you have it. Overall, I'm excited to see some of these changes. Jungle gets a little bit better. Mid gets a little bit worse. Supports get a little bit better. But Sunder gets a little bit worse. So, yeah. Should be fun. New God as well. All right, that'll do it for this week's episode of the Backliners. Appreciate you all watching. Except for, of course, our random question of the week. And BaRRa, you will not be surprised by where mine is going. and this is going to be a very big first world problem thing.
For you or
for us, you know, we're kind of
okay. We're getting up there.
We both understand that we are in privileged positions here. However,
okay,
I would like to ask you for our random question of the week. What your most frustrating homeowner experience has been? Because I've got a story for the chat.
Well, funny enough, my story relates to your story.
Okay.
So I'll just have like an encompassing story.
Okay.
Of literally any time I have had to do anything on my house that I cannot do, and I've had to pay someone else for that. Literally every single time, it has been a massive headache. I don't know why. I don't know why, like, painters can't do their job properly.
Yeah.
I don't know why deck builders can't do their job properly. I don't know why. Bro, like, it actually doesn't make sense. It's so frustrating to ever, like, even if the reviews are good.
Yep.
Like, they still mess up all the time. And I am not someone who likes confrontation, but I feel like every time I've had to do something relating to getting something fixed on a house that I can't do, or, like, improved on whatever, it's always a headache. And it drives me crazy. I literally just pray that nothing happens to my house that I can't do. Like, it's so frustrating.
Yes, it has been, again, I would like to reiterate that I understand we are both in very privileged positions to be homeowners, and we're very fortunate in that way. However, owning a house has sucked for me, man. I've had so many problems in my house already, and they're all so expensive. All the time. I'm spending all my money, man. It's so annoying. Let me tell you about this, okay? Oh, wait. I actually had some advice for the loyal listeners and viewers, okay?
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who are just getting into the workforce or will be getting into the workforce at some point, here's some wisdom that I've learned across many jobs. I've had a lot of jobs in my life. All you have to do, and I mean this very sincerely, all you have to do to be considered good at your job and have people at your job like you is to care, to not, and try your best and be willing to, like, do the job you're supposed to be doing. And if you do those things, people are going to think you're God's gift, because apparently you are. Like, it is nuts, man. It is nuts. Let me tell you about this fence company that I've had to deal with, okay? These wonderful people, we contacted them. They came out and surveyed our yard. We won a fence for our dog, of course. This was in May. We had them come out. They say, yeah, if we, you sign you come in, drop off your deposit, sign the contract, we'll be there beginning of July. We do that. We're sweet. We drop off the deposit, all that kind of stuff. First week of July comes. They go, oh, actually, we got a little delayed. We're a little behind. We got pushed back. We'll be there in like 2 weeks, middle of July. Sure, that's fine. I understand. It happens. I'm a patient person. Middle of July comes. I call them up. Oh, you know what? We got pushed back. Actually, it's going to be like the first week of August. Okay. That's fine, I guess. We'll wait until the first week of August. First week of August comes. Oh, you know what? Looking like it's going to be next week. Okay. Sure enough, we'll see you next week. I get a call Thursday. They go, hey, we're going to be there tomorrow morning at between 9:30 and 10 a.m. And I was like, sweet. Can't wait to have my fence done. It's going to take a day or two. It's not even going to take that long, this project. We'll see you then. Friday morning, I get a call at 8:30 in the morning. They say, hey, they're on their way. They're gonna be there soon. They're on their way. So I get up. I'm getting ready. I have to be at work, but I told them I'd be late because I had to help these people out and be there at the right time. They called me at 8:30. I've been to their office because I dropped off the deposit there. It is 15 minutes away maximum. 9 o'clock comes around. 9:30 comes around. 10 o'clock comes around. 10:30 comes around. At 11 o'clock, I'm like, bro, what is going on? Like, what is happening here? I call them up and they go, oh, yeah, they said they'd be running behind, but I didn't realize they'd be that behind. They're on their way now. For real. So, fine. They get there in like a half hour. They seem nice. We go over some changes that I wanted to make. Everything's good. Give them a cooler full of water since they're going to be working outside all day. And I'm on my way to work. Having a great time at work. I'm like, man, I can't wait to have our fence done this weekend. We're like making plans, gonna have some dogs over, all that kind of stuff. Get a call after the last set on Friday, and they go, hey, we hit a pipe in your yard. I'm like, okay. And they're like, yeah, there's water. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, can you come look at it? Because we don't know what we hit. We know there's water. We know that. But can you come like take a look and see what happened, see what we hit? And I'm like, how am I gonna know what you hit, dude? I'm a guy, like I cast Smite. How can I help you in this realm? And we're on the phone about this. I'm like, dude, I'm a half hour away. I'm coming home anyways. But, like, don't wait for me. I can't help you. Like, what are you talking? Can you come look at it and tell me what they hit? No! I can't! You guys do this! Like, what is going on? So I'm calling the county on my way home. They check their lines. They're like, yeah, they didn't hit one of our lines, so we can't help you. Good luck. We have a septic tank. So I call a septic tank company. They're like, oh yeah, sounds like it might be one of ours, but we can't get there until Sunday. Oh. So I get there. Turns out they hit a pipe. There's water. Helped them with that one. Really nailed it. And I was like, all right, I guess we gotta wait until Sunday. They come today. I'm not gonna say how much it was, because, whatever. But we're talking multiple thousands of dollars to fix this. Multiple thousands of dollars to fix this. And I just can't deal with how annoyed I am. God help. Look, I'm like the most patient person when it comes to the service industry and all that kind of stuff. I don't yell at people. God help whoever answers the phone for this fence company on tomorrow morning. Because I'm calling them early and they're going to have a bad start to their week. Because I've had a really bad weekend because of this. And for everyone in chat, I looked up a lot of contracts before I signed this one. Every fence company contract I looked at said we are not liable for anything we hit when we're digging. Which, how is that allowed, by the way? That can't be enforced, right? That can't be enforced. No way. How are they just allowed to slam whatever they want into my lawn, and then when my lawn gets destroyed, they're like, unlucky for you. See you later, buddy. Hope you had a good time. How is that allowed?
There's no way that's actually allowed.
That's what it says, but we're gonna have a discussion about how that happened. So that's been my experience so far. It's been a good time. For those of you thinking about buying a house, maybe right now, the market sucks. And it's stressful. So if you don't really need to, enjoy your apartment, Yep. Where you can just say, hey, my toilet's broken. Come fix it. And they don't charge you a lot of money. It's just the normal amount of money.
I can't believe they're just like, oops.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
You'll pay for that.
Yep.
Because it's not our fault even.
Yep.
Okay. Wait, so are you supposed to... Are you...
BaRRA, for the podcast listeners, BaRRa has his hands on his temple and is just like, that has been my state. Can I just say, by the way, if anyone, I like to troll at work a lot. If anyone doubts how much of a professional I am, I got this news before I casted the Scarabs Leviathan set, and I barely trolled. I barely trolled in that set. I only talked about skins for 3 minutes. Yeah, I kept my mental in it. I kept my mental in it. That's mental strength.
That's what we're here for now. We're here for you to get through this, because I would just be absolutely permanently molding.
Oh yeah, no,
and
I've been
I
in a
would
bad
be
mood.
like, I'd be like too angry to sleep.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm so excited to yell at someone about this tomorrow that like I don't know, it's gonna be like Christmas morning for me, man. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sleep. I'm gonna be too amped up.
I mean, so did they not check beforehand?
Nope.
Shouldn't they have to check or scan or do anything?
I think so, but we'll see. We shall see. We're already way over time, so we'll get it going now. But I will keep everyone updated on the fence saga.
Thank you.
Because I'm curious too. I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, look, I signed the contract. The reality of the situation is I'm probably on the hook for it, and that's how it goes. But you know, we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll be very kind and understanding and like not make me pay for the rest of my fence because I had to spend multiple thousands of dollars fixing their mistake. That would be the dream. All right, thanks everyone for watching and for listening. Make sure, of course, you're heading on over to manscaped.com/back, 20% off and free shipping. And I promise you that you won't be as you won't be as unlucky as me. Okay, here's oh my god, what a Manscaped ad!
Better care of your pipes.
Yes, dude, that's what I was about to say. You won't hit a pipe with Manscaped. You won't completely destroy your lawn with Manscaped. That's the thing about how it's better. There you go. Manscaped.com/back, 20% off and free shipping. Best way to support the podcast. Make sure to check out all the prediction shows on their network, giving us a rating, buying our merch, yada yada yada. We'll see you next week. We have a much anticipated guest coming next week, BaRRa. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's been asking for this particular guest. We've never had them on.
The guest that I DM'd you about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I was like, wait, did we double like schedule a guest?
No, I'm not gonna say who it is. I'm not gonna say who it is, but make sure you're checking it out next week, Sunday at 8 o'clock as always. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time here on the Backliners. BaRRa, say something like what the people put in my fence said to the pipe before they slammed it.
Goodbye.